Hi, my name is Damanji, and this is my action plan. So, for my self page, self is what makes each person special. It is important to understand your self identity, your strengths, abilities, and confidence, and your inner self keeps growing and changing over time. So, who am I? So, I'm Damanji, and at this moment in time, I know that one of my strengths is being accountable. And things I can improve on is public speaking. I am interested in traveling. My family is important to me to do my best. Listening to music and getting motivation from someone else helps. People are the ones who want me to succeed in the long run, such as family, friends, teachers, etc. For my next steps, my stretches will be working on my leadership qualities. Strengths will be wanting to push through my limits and seeing how far I can go. I am interested in anatomy. Support I will benefit from is having to talk to someone in the community who has the same career that I am considering. And for my learning plan, I am hopefully planning on studying biology at SFU and maybe transferring to UBC. And for my wellness plan, I will try to take better care of myself by eating healthier and spending more time doing things that I like to do, such as traveling, hiking, and drawing. I benefit from spending time studying, listening to music when stressed, and spending time with the people I love. And as my personal responsibility plan, I will try to make myself responsible to spend time doing the things that I need to do, such as working on my stretches, which would be public speaking, for example. And as my interests, I love to go skydiving one day and do things that I haven't done before. And this is a picture of my family. And what's important to me is advancing my education so I can help others. And one of my strengths is accountability, and I know that because of work, school, extracurricular activities that I used to take, such as taekwondo. And for stretches, I would like to get better at public speaking because I get stage fright easily, and people who know me, such as teachers and peers, know that I'm a quiet and shy person. And my interests is traveling. I would love to travel to as many places as I can, and I'd really like to travel to Dubai one day. And this is a picture of a place I've been to India. And for next steps, I would like to take the opportunities given to me and take advantage of those. And the next page is the family page. So, for me, family helped shape me to become the person I am today, and they will be there for me no matter what. And this is a picture of my family, and my role models are my parents because they've sacrificed a lot to get us to where we are today. And as my strengths, I'm there for my family when they need me, and for my stretches, I can show my family more appreciation. For my interests, I would like to travel with my family more and spend more time with them to create memories. For my next step, I will try to keep in contact with the people that I care about. And for the community page, it is important that everyone feels that they belong in their local community so they're part of something bigger than themselves. And in my community, I volunteered at the library, Big Brothers Big Sisters, at the Youth Hub, the Polar Express, and other places while I was in the leadership classes. And for my connections in my community, extracurricular activities that I'm in are Jack chapters, book club, Aboriginal leadership, and taekwondo, and I work at McDonald's. And for my strengths, I am responsible for finishing tasks that I'm assigned, such as cleaning up the lobby at McDonald's. My stretches are I can improve on sharing my ideas to the community. This is because when I'm given a chance to share, I don't really take that opportunity. For interests, I am interested in making a difference in the community because there is a positive impact on others. For next steps, my next step is hopefully to be part of the Mayor's Youth Council this year. And so far, the Youth Council is renovating the youth hub. And for the next page, land culture and broader perspectives. It is important to travel to different regions of the world to learn about different cultures because it helps broaden our perspective and find connections all around us. So for my languages, I'm fluent in 2 languages, English and Punjabi, and I've taken French 11 and a bit of Hindi. And my culture defines my values to always be helpful, generous, and considerate. And for my land, Squamish is such a beautiful place to live, and I'm grateful to live here because there's so much culture surrounding it. And I feel like I have a broad understanding of perspective since I've lived in 2 countries and I would love to travel around the world. For my strengths are being compassionate and understanding others. I show this when someone is feeling down and wants to share. For stretches, my stretches is speaking skills, and I feel that I can always improve my speaking skills in English and Punjabi. For interests, I would like to broaden my social circle and learn more about languages, cultures, and values that are different from mine. And next steps, you can help me. Family, friends can always help me broaden my perspective. And for the literacy page, it is important to have decent literacy skills at any age because you never know when you could use them, and it is equally important that you keep improving your skills. And for my first example, this is from Biology 11, where we had to write an essay about any type of deficiency in the immune system, and I did mine on TLRs, which cause increased production in the immune cells. And for the second example, for English 12, during the Shakespearean unit, we had an option to write an essay or two sonnets. And after we finished reading Othello, and then this example, this is one of the sonnets I wrote about. And for the third example, for Human Geography 12, we had to research a sustainable development goal topic and write an essay about the goals. So I did my research on different kinds of child labor. And for strengths, I think I am good at reading. I love to read sci-fi books, and I would like to improve my writing skills for research papers and literary analysis. For interests, I enjoy book clubs because they're filled with such good discussions about the books where you read, and one can retain a lot of knowledge and understanding from just learning about a book from someone else's understanding. For next steps, I will work on my writing skills such as grammar and creative writing. And the next page is the numeracy page. So numeracy is an important skill to have, and we use it all the time without even realizing, such as when we go to the grocery store. For the first example, for pre-calculus 12, we were learning about how to graph radicals. And for example 2, I redid pre-calculus 11 online, and I understood each unit a lot better the second time around. And for the third example, I enjoyed doing polynomials so far in pre-calculus 12 out of every unit we've done so far. And yeah, it was my favorite at the moment. And for strengths, I'm confident when it comes to simple numbers, patterns, and sequences, and I think I do go to IQ tests that are like simple enough, and I think I'm good at factoring math. And stretches, I find pre-calculus challenging, and it is something I can improve on. And for interests, once I understand how to solve a certain math problem, I start feeling relieved, and at the moment, math starts feeling as enjoyable as it can get for me. And for next steps, I hope to improve my mathematical ability by practicing more math problems on my spare time. And the next page is communication skills. So communication is an important part of everyday life, and depending on how effectively you can communicate with someone, you can make a major impact on their life. And then for the first example at the youth dialogue, we discussed about what the youth wanted to see in our community, such as they wanted to see safe, diverse places, more career opportunities. For the second example, as a cashier in McDonald's, I have to repeat customer orders and repeat what they've asked from me clearly so they understand me. And for the third example, in English 12, we had to present a speech to the class about what we learned from doing something we enjoyed, and the speech had to be 3 to 5 minutes long. A previous example that the teacher shared with us was what someone learned from skiing, and I did mine on what I learned from traveling. And for my strengths, I can communicate to customers at work well. Stretches, I want to improve on my public speaking and speaking in front of groups of 3 or more. And I also get nervous when I have to pick up a phone call, so I can work on that too. For interests, I would like to use my communication skills later to help other people. For my next steps, I will start off communicating with smaller groups of people and start working up to increase my confidence in public speaking. And next page is the readiness page. And people will trust you more with responsibility depending on your readiness, and it is important to be ready about the things to expect, such as being ready for school the next day, for example. So for my first example, when I did the review about radicals and expressions for pre-calculus 12, I feel that I understand the concept and I'm ready to move on to the next unit. For the second example, because of this time during the COVID-19 pandemic, the evidence that I have of readiness is a bit lacking. But one evidence that I have is that I'm checking Google Classrooms almost every day for school assignments. For my third example, I keep up to date with almost about every school assignment that's given so far. And for for strengths, I have mostly been on a time to work in classes and handed assignments in on time. For stretches, I can improve on getting ready before last minute, such as when I travel, I usually pack a few days before, but I can always start a few days or a few weeks ahead. And for interests, I would like to get to know more about preparing myself for adulthood. And for next steps, I will learn how to drive and fill out taxes, hopefully soon. And the next page is about thinking critically. So it is important to think critically because it gives you more opportunities and advantages in life. So for my first example, at the youth dialogue, everyone kept building off each other's ideas, especially for areas dealing with careers. And for the example, a second example, for Human Geography 12, my conclusion for the final essay for the Sustainable Development Goal 8 was about how people can decrease the numbers of child laborers in the world. And this was the conclusion. And for my third example, when I'm trying to make a big decision, such as deciding where to go for post-secondary, I think about the pros and cons about the choice. And for starts, I can solve problems or come up with conclusions usually a few days after, such as figuring out an answer to the test after handing it in. And for stretches, I can improve on being able to phrase ideas clearly and synthesize them to different things. For interests, I am interested in learning more about global issues and concepts and connecting them to my understanding. And for next steps, I will connect and learn what I did in school to the outside world. And the next page is about creating and innovating. So being able to create and innovate freely, being able to express yourself in your own creative way is important to take care of yourself. And also when you're presenting to someone else, if you add a creative touch, they'll stay in longer than you would expect. So for the first example, me and my sister are creating a book called Playing Detective, and so we're going to let our imagination run wild for this one. So far, our main character has met an unusual friend in the building. For the second example, for presentations in class, I like to use different styles of templates and when we present. And in this image, we have 2 pictures on the slide. For the third example, for any assignment we have an option to color, I normally do because the coloring makes the assignment feel more real to me. And this image is from Textiles 12, where we had to cut out the dress and place the paper in front of an object to create negative space. For example, this one here is over in front of a book. And for my strengths, I'm good at coloring and drawing, coloring other people's drawings, and I try to add imagination into poetry that I've done so far. And for stretches, I can improve on making new things and work on my entrepreneur skills. And for interests, I like to know more about people's personality by the way that they demonstrate curiosity and imagination. For next steps, I will work on entrepreneur skills and media skills. And the next page is about collaborating. So when collaborating, it is important to look at other people's perspectives and have a respectful mind of all things. And for the first example, at the youth council, we all collaborated and shared our ideas in a circle. Everyone took turns, and we listened respectfully. And the results are that Squamish is renovating their youth hub. Yay. And for example 2, for biology 12, as our final lab, we had to do a urinalysis lab in groups 3, and our group bounced off ideas from each other and took turns discussing what symptoms could mean, and we all made sure that we all got our voices heard. And for the third example, for our final in biology 12, we had to do a research project in groups, and our group did our topping on how different kinds of music affects our concentration. We all worked off of each other's information and divided the work evenly, and we all managed to fill it out. And for strengths, I am good at listening to others and making sure their voices are heard. For stretches, I want to improve on my creating new things, such as a better way to finish off projects, for example. For interests, I am interested in learning about others' opinions during debates. And for next steps, I will like to collaborate with others on experimental projects, especially when I head off to post-secondary for labs and such. And the last page is about contributing. So when you contribute, it also displays your values. It tells you a lot about yourself and others because of your actions. So for the first example, for the 24-hour drum in 2019, our Aboriginal leadership group focused on bringing awareness to murdered and missing Indigenous women, and we had a peace march. And for the second example, I made an essay about how it is best for yourself and the environment to grow your own fruit. It also describes how much CO2 is reduced by plants that are grown. For example 3, for the youth dialogue, everyone contributed to what type of programs, opportunities, and spaces the youth would like to see in the youth hub and around Squamish. And for strengths, I enjoy contributing to causes that affect a majority of others, such as helping with the youth council and donating to the food bank. For stretches, I would like to improve on my character development and leadership qualities. For interests, I would really like to play a role on a global citizen regularly, such as having a career that makes it easy to do so. And for next steps, I'm going to work on my leadership qualities, such as communication. And yeah, thank you so much for seeing my map. I hope you enjoyed it.